person who told me to record already had 2, so I didn't give her another one. So we are diminished today.
Yes, we have a half an hour with you, right?
Yes. So couple things. So let's do business. Let's get this puppy on the road, and then out. First, come to Showfest. Let me find it. Here we are. Copy, paste. Boom. Go to Showfest. It's a website. It's a Discord server. It's a Twitch stream. It's a dessert topping. So starting at 5, which is right after this class, we will, in the stream, have actual game devs, actual living, breathing game devs who make money at this, interviewing MQP teams. The test stream VOD is on the IMGD Twitch. Okay. I don't know. I'm in class. What's going on? People are talking to me. It's crazy. It's crazy. So come to Showfest. On the Discord, you will, on the website, you will be able to download all the projects. Not all of them are video games, but they're, some of them are really, really cool. You can see what an MQP looks like in IMGD. You can play it. You can play it with your friends. You can do all sorts of cool things. And you can go in the Discord, and if you like a game, or even if you don't like a game, you can go talk to the developers, not the professional developers, but the student developers, about their game, or about their favorite dinosaur, or what they had for lunch today, or if they're going to graduate and how that's working out. Whatever you want, you can talk to them. They're going to be hanging out on the Discord, talking to people, hopefully about their game, but or not game. There are quite a few MQPs that are not games this year. There's an art book. There's a children's book. There's a simulation of oceans rising. There's an animated movie. Cool stuff that aren't necessarily video games. One person who isn't showing at Showfest, her MQP was to be basically a social media manager for Worcester Art Museum, right? That's interactive media. So come by, and on the Twitch stream, 10 minutes a pop, the student devs get interviewed by the professional devs, and they talk about their process and what they went through, and how horrible their advisors were, because they were big meanikins who made them do things. Yeah, they probably won't say any of that because they still want to graduate. So come to Showfest. A lot of people have been working on it very hard for a very long while. Second, got to show you this. Share screen. Well, let's share. That's the Showfest website, but that doesn't matter. It's this that I want to show you, which is the new assignment, which is the final assignment for the term. It is due next Thursday at midnight, but get it in beforehand so you can start your summer vacation earlier. This is a paper. type. Um, 4 sections: what I did for our ARG, what went right, what went wrong, lessons I learned, or essentially what I do differently if I knew then what I know now. Right. Um, should be no more than 3 pages long. So I make it short because you only have a day or two to write it. Actually, you have 3 days to write it, but you only have 3 days to write it. And secondly, uh, I don't need the padding. I don't need the bullshit. Just tell me these things, right? Um, and I want to point out what went wrong. Um, I you can do this, but I don't really need it. It just makes me sad if you uh bitch about other people. I mean, bitch about like this person was so terrible and they didn't know what they were doing and everything that went wrong was because John John was an overbearing nasty man. I don't know. So um I got a chat. True, we all hate John. I don't think there is a John. That's why I chose John. Is there a John?
There is a John.
Oh, sorry, John. I didn't mean to pick on you. So John. I just it's a common name, so I picked it. So the idea with the what went wrong is self-reflection, as in, I this is the first time I ever tried to make a an arcade game that runs in HTML5. Um, it didn't really it probably took too long and I was too concentrated on that and didn't could have used the time better. Um, but in the end, I got the thing done. Probably too long, whatever. So look to yourself. Um, and a common one that I get is we had poor communication, uh, so that it not everyone was up to speed with what was going on when they should have been. But I mean, just based on the Discord, you guys are chattering to each other all the time. I came in at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock this morning, and you were and I finally turned the boops off from Discord. You may notice I have become invisible uh, because if I'm visible, I get pounced on by 85 people with ats. So I keep myself invisible just because I have to get work done sometimes. Okay, so the other big thing, uh, um, I'm 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 kind of a softy with getting things in late, but May 13th, the last day of the term, is really the last day I can accept anything late. Um, so please, because I got to get the grades done. I am behind on the grading, as you have probably guessed. Um, so uh, if you uh, come at me, the week after the term is done and say, can I still get stuff? No, you can't. I put the grades in. The grades are done. They're gone. I can't do it anymore. So, um, and that's half of that is WPI saying it's got to be in by this day at this time, which I think is Monday at 5. But half is me going, I have this many things to do, and I have apportioned this many hours of every day to do them. And I have already gotten through all of those, and I'm a happy person. And now you throw more at me. No, I ain't doing it. Just not doing it. So I'm warning you, get everything in by next Thursday at midnight. Um, so the other thing is, if you would like to include supplementary materials, like I painted this digital painting that was used in the website, um, drop it in your canvas. Um, or even I did, especially, I did these three things that in the end it was decided not to use them, right? If you did extra work that did not get used, let me know. Show me. Um, please, 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 especially writers, don't give me 10 extra pages to read. One of the reasons why it's 3 pages long is so that I can get through them all in the time allotted to me. So I've also included a link to Gama Sutra of Professional. Let's see if that works. Yes. Postmortem of Resident Evil 2 for the N64. Classic postmortem of BioWare's Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. No, I don't, David. Sorry. Um, I'll look at it on the website. I'm probably going to skim over it. So these are professional postmortems, usually from someone on the team. Um, Silent Hill 4, The Room postmortem, what they think went right, what they think went wrong. And if you look at these, you will find um, they're they're very diplomatic, especially in the what went wrong section, because they know that they're going to have to work with these people again, and so they're not going to say, you know, Bob wouldn't know a physics engine if it ran up and bit him on the ass, but he was in charge of the physics engine, right? So, um, assume that you're all going to work together again. Be nice, be kind. Um, so you may have to register to see the full articles, but the registration is free. It's also kind of funny that the main industry website is like a sex thing. I don't get that. Anyway, so that's 10 points. Um, between that, um, your play an arg and your make an arg. Um, I think this final arg thing is worth 30% of your grade, but we break it up into 10-point lots. So okay, so any questions about that? Seems reasonable. You get one in for the planning phase. You get one in for the actual doing phase, and you get one in for the reflection afterwards of, well, how'd it go, right? Um, okay, Gabe, how's it going?
Everything's going well. So day 3 is now officially complete. The players have finished the puzzles and the story beats, and James has just given his final update for the day. Um, and so tomorrow we'll kick off with Ephraim calling all of the people that called his phone number at the end of the last gameplay beat. Um, and that will kick off the puzzle to find an admin login for our website. Uh, in terms of work for what's coming up, Writers are diligently working on getting some other staff pages written for that'll go live tomorrow. And myself, gameplay and writing are also working on changing around the last puzzle a little bit just to make it a little bit more difficult. And yeah, Art did a really great job of making our case file on Ephraim look really nice and amazing. So thank you, Art, for that. It came out super great. And yeah, everything's going smoothly so far. We didn't have any mishaps. There was at one point during gameplay today where the players were starting to get really off track when they were on the right track originally. So we sent out a little message to put them back on, and they were able to figure it out from there. So yeah, it's going well so far. Riker, do you have anything?
Nope, you got everything pretty solidly covered. Yeah, I mean they got a little off track. They're also yeah, I mean they said some of the messages, some of the things they were doing were pretty funny, but yeah, everybody's doing a pretty solid job, and we just keep it up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got. Dean, is there anything you wanted to talk about specifically to our
No, I'm okay. Again, I had to stream my regular Thursday night stream last night, and all day today we've been deciding, well, doing who gets best MQP and setting up for Showfest. And at 8 o'clock tonight, I am going to be done with Showfest. But I will probably be so exhausted at that point that I'm going to get away from the computer and be a vegetable for a bit, and check in with you all tomorrow. So it's always funny because like, I don't know, at breakfast today, I was like, well, my wife saw how crazed I was getting all my seniors graduated yesterday. And then she's like, so what's today? And I'm like, today's Showfest. She's like, oh, Showfest. That's a day. Because she's been around a while. And and I'm like, and the ARGs. And she's like, the ARGs are the same weekend as Showfest? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, who did that to you? And I'm like, I did that. And she's like, well, okay. So I'll be in tomorrow, essentially, hopefully. I also have to mow the lawn, but you don't care. How's their ARG?
From what I can tell, their first puzzle that they've given us today is very hard. They posted it at 2 and we still haven't been able to solve it.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to talk on that, I'm not sure.
Would love assistance if anyone wants to help, please.
What
I
are
think
you
we've had
supposed to
like
do?
3 or 4 people working on it consistently for the past hour or so.
We're struggling bad.
Yeah, they posted a giant, like, or not really giant, a paragraph that says inside of it that there's a hidden URL, like a bit.ly link that we have to figure out from the writing that's inside of this paragraph, and we haven't been able to do it.
Can you screen share? Can you share it with me?
Sure.
Wasn't Circle with the private YouTube video?
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the current puzzle that we're stuck on, right, guys?
The whole exists not now both beginning are beginning and end being used in the link.
whole exists not without both beginning and end.
Maybe you need W and H in it. Or
Okay.
E.
So
I will say we got one hint, and it's not gibberish, meaning it should be words.
okay. Was this given to you as this picture, or
Yeah.
is it
Yeah,
text
it's a
on a
PNG.
Well, this is negated, but
Yeah, it's the same picture, and there's nothing crazy about it, like nothing in the properties or anything. It's just a picture of text.
Okay. So you may not know this, but there are various steganography. Look up steganography. Google steganography. STEGANOGRAPHY. And
Like the image, like the image decoding
yeah.
cipher.
Because you can put just straight up text inside an image, and I have no idea if that's the case. I have no insider knowledge on this. So there's that. The other thing that I notice is things should not have an apostrophe. First things first, I think.
Well, if they're saying first thing is first,
Okay.
like
yeah, that's
if
right.
they're just if it's like slang first things first, they're
Okay.
apostrophizing it.
And the only other thing I see, and maybe it's, I don't think it's my screen, but do you see colors in the letters? I see like the T is more green and the R is more red, and there's like some purplish, like here.
Now that you say that, I can actually see
Yeah,
that.
now that you do it, I can. Oh, why am I seeing a lot of blue ones?
So that's red, and then it goes to green at the second T.
I do.
Can you guys all check
So
that?
maybe that's
like,
something.
for the color thing, can you guys all check that on your own computers and just make sure it's not some weird Zoom screen sharing?
I just
I'm-
opened it from the Discord thing, and I can see it. I think it is.
I'm seeing all I can see is a lot of blue ones.
I can't tell though if my eyes are just deceiving me. Though that's the
I
thing.
know.
Yeah,
The
it's
hardest part.
This does not look like white text on a black background. This looks like a whole bunch of
It definitely does
colors.
look like colors, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now I'm seeing the
Well,
green.
this is again. This is the negative of the image, so.
Right. Well, but
I don't
maybe
know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
Maybe
don't know.
that was what made the colors come out.
Yeah,
is you,
true.
You doing the negative. The whole exists not without both beginning and end. I don't know. That's what I got. So
I'm not really seeing any of them on the negative or the non-negative, so I don't know. I got no clue.
So here's the other thing. Are you if you're stuck, are you thinking aloud or in text in a place that they can see you thinking aloud or collaborating?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other thing to do is go, if you have questions like, hey, should we be, is it significant that this is a picture? Ask characters, right? Just like characters are there to give you clues, characters are there to ask for hints, right? Hey, I'm thinking about this. Do you think I'm on the right track? Right. So think about it that way. Anything else? Gabe, you had said that you were getting feedback from the other class that they thought your puzzles were short.
Yeah, after they finished everything in like 2 hours, and they're kind of like, oh, I guess that's it. And then someone literally just sent shrug in the chat, like, so
Yeah.
it was a little bit disconcerting.
Well, I asked them straight out, and they were like, "No, that's fine. It was fine."
Okay.
So what I think is that you've got a puzzle fiend or two in the other class who is making very difficult puzzles for you and blasting through your like regular person puzzles. And again, I have no evidence of this other than that they're
I have
solving your
evidence. We
puzzles
spent
very
2
quickly.
hours on one of theirs, and they spent 2 hours on both of ours. I
Yeah,
think that's plenty of evidence for you.
yeah.
Because Jesus.
They probably would have spent longer on ours if we didn't give them a hint, but they just started going down directions that were just far from what they were doing properly the first time.
So
Yeah.
let them do that. They've been blasting through them. Just let them suffer for a bit.
So the very weird thing is that you guys talk to me, and the 3 o'clock people don't speak out loud on the Zoom call. I will ask a question and there will be this deadly pause, and then people will because they have been typing in the chat, and they will
too
answer
busy
me in the
making
chat,
puzzles.
not as
I think we have a
in
good
real
culture
life.
here.
Yeah.
What?
4 p.m. class, rise up.
I think we have a good culture here.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's also funny because they do that to each other when I like turn over the class to their producers. The producers then like, okay, can somebody report? And then there's this deadly pause, and then this wall of text pops up in chat. Okay, so it's hard for me to have a feel for their like gameplay people and their puzzle people. I don't know. I get silence most of the time from them. So but in the end, and here's just general advice is don't use your ARG to react to their ARG, right? Use your ARG to react to your players. But just because their puzzles are very difficult doesn't mean your puzzles are bad, right? Again, play the game.
They just have Professor Goddamn Layton on their team somehow.
Yeah, well, but play the game you're given and make the game you want to make, right? It feels like we have a good amount of hardcore players. You do. Their community managers seem to be very good, and rounding up people to play. Everybody is like, yes, we're playing, and the length is good. We're doing well, and I'm like, okay, good. Okay, I got to go do Show Fest. So I can make you host, Gabe, if you want to keep talking to people.
Yeah, there's actually just one thing I want to say to you.
Yes.
Just say for the other class next time, or if you want to just tell them, they don't seem to really have a great way to wrap new people into the story. So I don't know. I originally thought that we were supposed to have something like that, where they kind of like get new players quickly up to speed.
Every bit of information I have given them, I have also given you.
Okay, yeah. So I remember you had told us that. So we actually have a channel in ours that we post at the end of each day, like updating what's happened, so that new players can just read through it and get up to speed quick. There's nothing like that in there, so it's hard for us to really get into their ARG.
Well, the thing to do then is to provide it yourselves, because as players, that's what we would do. Is we would say, hey, this I would make a post of like when I did something significant, I would be like, I did this and I did this and I did this, right? And that way the person after me would read my post and say, oh, okay, now that's where we are, right?
All right. But yeah, I'll take host for a little bit.
Okay, so I am going to make host. Actually, I'm going to